What's up, guys, and welcome back to another breakdown report. My name is Tavon, and we're back here to give you guys more topics to discuss about the NBA. One of being the Hornets zoom offense and why it works. Now, as you guys know from the zoom offense and how you guys know from the Hornets side of things, the Hornets is the most NBA teams run zoom and Hornets action, but the Hornets run them the most as far as the action goes. Hornets run it as more as anyone else in the league, and it's quietly transforming their offense as it is, has at the time being. We're going to go over all the topics of discussion as far as the Hornets and how they use their zoom sets, how to use their horn sets, and pretty much how they're getting their scores to in good spots to score. As of right now, they have 4 players that's over at least 19 points per game, and there's a reason why they're number 2 in offensive rating and efficiency around the league in terms of offense throughout the past 15 games as of right now. Let's break in and let's get down to the breakdown. First things first, we got to talk about how this pertains or how zoom and horns work. So this is a diagram of how horns is. Horns is a simple set. It relates to 2 players basically going up the top of the key line or the elbow spots if necessary called, and they are initially screen setters. Now they can go either which way. They can set a screen for each other. They can set a screen, a pin down screen for the guys in the corner. They can set a screen either both ways for the point guard or guard, whoever is bringing up the ball off the floor, or they can pretty much set a double screen, in which LaMelo Ball, most of the time a center at that left spot right here, and the shooting guard or small forward will usually be on the right side as they set it off, or they can intersperse either which way. They will have a center or a wing player on the top of the key area, and then pretty much a guard and a forward on each corner side here. And what's the easiest part about all this, in a sense or so, is the simple fact of how they get into these actions, to say the least. Now, it's very easy to get into the actions and pretty much score off of it, but again, both teams, and if not all teams, do this to get an advantage somehow, some way, and or shape or form to pretty much continue on their game. So here in this example, you can see that LaMelo Ball, my fault, is bringing up the ball here, and Musa Diabate is setting the screen. Now with this, you're going to notice that Knipple on the next image is going to start moving towards the right hand side right here. And as you go around here, LaMelo Ball is going to hand it off to Diabate. Ball is then going to set a screen for Knipple, in which he is going to come across from the screen. Diabate holds the ball off and waiting for the handoff for Knipple. And then you can see here in this graphic, Knipple gets the ball and he is driving downhill. This is a center zoom PNR, and it is simple as that, but it is so hard because the defender would either have to chase the ball handler that is going to be the ball handler, which is going to be the handoff, either stay at the an assignment and switch with a defender, which cause confused notion towards the defender, or pretty much they have to help out around the rim. That means the corners are going to have to help out. Pretty much the tag man or the roll man is going to have to account for not 1 but 2 players on his same side of the wing, and it gets a little tricky from that standpoint. And again, this Hornets team has plenty of counters to go across to that. So again, it makes a living hell towards a lot of defenders, especially going against the Charlotte Hornets team. Now, in particularly so, in this case, this team has plenty of options to go off of, and again, we can go on and on about how they get into the offense and how they do things, but the main important thing is the zoom action, and it goes from a dribble handoff into a flare exit screen. It creates corner threes because people are helping off from the corners. The DOH creates action where LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, or Knipple, or any guard or forward can pretty much attack the middle of the floor with ease and get downhill very quickly, in which will cause help or cause a free bucket for the person that is getting the handoff. And then empty side reads as well. You can now make empty side reads where everybody clears out on one area and pretty much creates now a empty side PNR, which is no help is going to be provided. If you do help, it is open lanes and open gaps where the ball handler can throw the ball out to and get the ball to a scorer or a shooter outside, and it creates havoc from that point on. This isn't a unique concept to say the least, and is a league-wide usage is common. Charlotte frequency though in this Hornets offense has been amazing. The difference is how often and precisely Charlotte runs it. Now, in Charles Lee offensive foundation in general, this team has been producing in numbers. Let's just go right here and just say, right here in the last 7 games, this is before, this is many games down the line, probably about 4 games down the line, but this still pertains true for right now. In the past 7 games, and in the past straight 7 games during this stretch between December 22nd, I believe, January 5th or January 4th, if no, the Hornets has been shooting at least 15 plus made threes every single game. They were shooting 42% from the 3-point line off of this action and off of Zoom and off of all these actions being made. Due to this, they have won majority of the game. Now, some of them they lost due to their defense. They lost to the Cavaliers. They lost in many other close games as well, such as the Warriors, such as the Bucks. But they have been cruising in terms of the offensive lane, and they've been doing a great job in sense of that. Another thing is, since LaMelo Ball has came back from his ankle injury bruise, the Charlotte Hornets has been, during that time, January 5th, the 4th best offense at NBA per cleaning glass. They have a 4-5 record and a net rating of 0.2, which is good and 14th in the league. And this is the graphic that came recently with this. The Charlotte Hornets during this time, during the last 15 games, this is going into their Clippers game that they played just recently. They went 7-8, but the offensive efficiency is 120.1 points per game and 41% from the 3-point line. This meaning this is not a coincidence, to say the least. They have been getting out to actions and scoring very easily nonetheless, and getting those points. How, you may say? Let's get into the tape and let's get into the film. So Charlotte opens up with a lot of zoom, or pretty much double screen action or zoom actions from this video, and I'm just going to explain it and break it down for all you guys to pretty much look at how zoom works. So zoom works very simply. You can see here PJ Hall is asking for Miles Bridges to set the screen instead of just going through normal actions. He is going to now set the screen for Con Knipple. Con Knipple has been a person that has been shooting really good. The person that's guarding him, I believe, is Isaac Okoro on this case. So Con Knipple is getting face guard by Isaac Okoro. Miles Bridges is going to set the screen, in which Con Knipple will come up and PJ Hall will then serve him up a handoff, in which Con Knipple is supposed to come off this action and then, lead into a PNR. In this case in the matter though, however, Miles Bridges sets the screen, Isaac Okoro gets through the screen, so it's pretty much not much that it could be done for PJ Hall, even though if he wanted to give this handoff to Con Knipple, he can. Noting that it's 17 seconds left on the clock, this would have been suitable, but instead what PJ Hall do as far as a counter to the zoom, and what the Hornets offense do so well in terms of counters, just in case they cannot get their own action off, they'll give it off to the person that set the screen to screener, get the ball out of their hands. So Isaac Okoro now face guarding Con Knipple. This now creates advantage, and a lot of teams love to use their forward that can pretty much blow by other centers and other forwards in general to take advantage of the spot. This is where PJ Hall sets the screen now for Vucevic to get switched on to Miles Bridges. So as you can see here, Jalen Smith now takes the switch to PJ Hall. Miles Bridges now is attacking Vucevic in this end. You can see Boozy coming down into paint, pre-rotating. You can see pretty much Trey Jones in that defensive stance, awaiting things. So now Miles Bridges have options attacking Vucevic in this point. You can see here the screen, Bridges try to drive the lane. He gets blocked by Vucevic, but again, showing different ways that this Hornets offense can pretty much get points on the board. In that case, Vucevic did a great job, played good defense, but that's an attacking lane for Miles Bridges. 9 times out of 10, Miles Bridges can get past Vucevic and score on a layup. Right here, coming off this action, 77 action or double drag screen, coming in directly with 20 seconds on the shot clock. So this means they're coming straight down, they setting it. Usually with the Hornets, they will come in a horn set, start the horn set, but this is how they started, and this is how they've been getting downhill and being effective on the clock. So LaMelo Ball is going to take this double screen right here with Miles Bridges and Brandon Miller setting the screen. Trey Jones coming up the top, and you can see Buzelis and Jalen Smith are part of this action. You can see PJ Hall ducking in to this dunker spot area just in case, and you can see Knipple pretty much standing out here on the 3-point line. The screen is set, Brandon Miller comes off of it, and you can see as LaMelo is attacking downhill, Jalen Smith has no choice but to take this area and guard it, because again, Trey Jones got screen. He is coming behind the screen, and Melo now got a complete lane if Jalen Smith does not stop, and Vucevic is right here as well, but again is creating gravity for LaMelo Ball to now make a play. So LaMelo Ball now has his defender behind him. This garners help. This means he needs help. Trey Jones needs help right here. Brandon Miller gets the screen. He could basically flex out at this point. As you can see, as it continues, PJ Hall now relocates, gets to his dunker spot. So in case if Vucevic does help against LaMelo Ball driving, and I'm sorry for a lot of the arrows, but if he does continue to drive here and Vucevic comes out to help, PJ Hall is perfectly at the dunker spot right here. So as this play develops, you also got to keep in mind with the double screen that both players faded. So if Brandon Miller continues to go right here and Miles Bridges gets to the top of the key, this could set up a wide open three for Miles Bridges if he is wide open. So let's continue to play. LaMelo Ball decides, hey, I'm going to dump it off to Miles Bridges right here. And as you can see, Miles Bridges did not fade, but was in a spot where it was open space. Due to this open space, due to that zoom action, or due to double drag screen that happened, and Jalen Smith now has to take on LaMelo Ball in the sense, Miles Bridges now has a clear lane for a floater or a layup, which he does. He puts it up, he gets the bucket. Great play, great design. Another example of the double drag screen again. This time, Knipple, and again, Knipple in his stats so far throughout the season, we're going to show the graphic as well. One of the best PNR big men. Yes, I said big men. He's a guard. I understand he's a guard. But in terms of his efficiency, being a PNR man or role popper or however you want to go, he's been one of the most efficient in the NBA. This is why he switched the screen. Instead of doing Horns double drag screen, he is setting the screen out to now giving LaMelo an option. Do you want to come off of here and basically continue on and switch on to Isaac Okoro, or do you want to go to Vucevic? And thus creating that dilemma now for the Chicago Bulls. The screen is set, PJ Hall hits him with the screen. Now this is LaMelo Ball coming downhill against Vucevic. Jalen Smith is now in the gap. Buzelis is outside here. Miles Bridges is posted here. Brandon Miller will move up a little bit closer. Knipple is the main target, so Isaac Okoro is going to stay close. So this means now that is not much help. Buzelis is in the paint. If that is the case in this matter, PJ Hall should have a rim run right here. LaMelo Ball should take up two. Buzelis will help out. That means Miles Bridges should be open for a three. Let's see how it rolls. Okoro with the tag. He's right there. Knipple. Remember, guys, Knipple is coming off this. So Okoro has to tag here against PJ Hall just to stop the paint. It is 2 on LaMelo Ball currently right now. He is creating gravity. So that means something got to give. It's either Miles Bridges is going to go over to this whole left side or be in the dunker spot right here where Buzelis is guarding against this drive, because LaMelo Ball could still get past Vucevic in this case. It's either Okoro has to continuously tag PJ Hall in this case, Jalen Smith has to help out, or in this case, as I said, LaMelo Ball just drives straight through, nobody help, and it's free layup at the rim. So in this case right here, LaMelo Ball drives, he throws it up for PJ Hall, he catches it, they're going to reset, pass out to Miles Bridges. So the thing that we kind of expected to happen immediately, in a sense, happened regardless, even though the play was broken down, Miles Bridges is wide open for a three due to Buzelis having to help in the situation in the paint. Due to him over helping, Miles Bridges wide open for three, he knocks it down. In this case right here, another double drag screen. This time though, ladies and gentlemen, this is Colin Sexton, and the Bulls is in a zone. They're in the 2-3 zone. So playing zone against this team in the double drag situation. So this is Brandon Miller and PJ Hall setting the screen. As you can see here, Colin Sexton come off the screen, nothing's there. Notice this is a 2-3 zone. So the screen is coming right there. He is going to direct PJ Hall to come out and set the screen. He's also going to tell Josh Green, get to this, in this case, left corner, and pretty much space out the floor. So that way the ball screen can collapse the defense. Colin Sexton can make a play. He could either make a pass to Brandon Miller, which makes a pass to Josh Green, thus giving up a wide open three. You can see right here, he calls Josh Green over. Vucevic is going to stay in the paint because this is a 2-3 zone. He's the center. He's going to stay in there or guard at least the dunker spot / the corner. Here goes the screen. Brandon Miller gets the ball. Josh Green relocates. Nobody's there. Vucevic just notices right away. Wide open three ball for Josh Green as he knocks it down. Another play right here. Double screen once again. Coming off the early shot clock, Brandon Miller sets the screen. PJ Hall is going to set the screen here. Again, looking for advantages. Nobody steps up in this case. And I mean, nobody steps up on the screen right here against Brandon Miller. I think this is Patrick Williams. Nobody steps up for him. He beats him out, steps back, shoots the three. It's wide open. He's going to miss, but it's going to be called for a foul. Again, early opportunities, getting quick opportunities real quickly. Again, another double screen coming off of it. PJ Hall setting the screen. Concanipple setting the screen. Even if it's a brush screen, he's setting the screen. Trey Jones basically trailing. Here comes Ayo Dosunmu guarding against it, doing a good job shutting it down. They double off the PNR, which we call doubling off the hedge. Concanipple wide open for a three, immediately coming off it. And again, this is with pretty much Trey Jones coming off of it, coming off this screen, and Ayo Dosunmu helping out. Vucevic is more worried or looking at PJ Hall in the sense, and has the screen is coming wrong, and Concanipple is coming off of this free, off the fade, and off the pop. Pretty much Trey Jones has to run back and get to Concanipple. By the time he does, and again, it doesn't take long for Concanipple to find a wide open shot, and a quick release right here. He shoots it, it's wide open, he nails it. And again, those actions just continue and continue as soon as they come up the floor. Again, another action right here. This time, this is going to be a zoom action. This time, it's going to revolve Brandon Miller. This is what we call a center zoom. And this center zoom right here, Brandon Miller is going to come off of it. He's going to set the screen from, or LaMelo Ball is going to set the screen on, I believe that's Isaac Okoro. He's going to come off of it. Here's the screen. Ayo Dosunmu is going to try to switch and get on to Brandon Miller. As he's coming along right here, Miles Bridges is going to basically either screen for Melo, or he's going to continue on with the play and basically set a screen right here, which he does. He is going to set a screen for Brandon Miller. Ayo Dosunmu is going to get hit, and this is now Brandon Miller's way of attacking. Jalen Smith is high up. He is going to hard hedge this catch right here. Buzelis basically playing away from the basket, guarding on the attention. He's going to be the helper right here. I believe that's Buzelis, or this is Kevin Huerter. I believe this is Kevin Huerter here. That is Kevin Huerter. Buzelis is right here playing away. So again, with the screen happening, Kevin Huerter helps out. Isaac Okoro is helping out as well, playing the gap, and LaMelo Ball is now open. But this doesn't take long for LaMelo Ball to catch and shoot from a three. As you guys know, LaMelo Ball is one of the best limitless range shooters, especially past 24 feet. He can hit that three. He's gonna make that catch. That's enough space for him, even though he is far away from the three-point line. He pump fakes, he drives, he goes to the lane, drives and kicks. Liam McNeely wide open for the three. Even though he missed it, again, all this action that's going on to the top of the key because of Brandon Miller basically creating that gravity, and also the attention to detail to making sure that this PNR is stopped right away. You can see Jalen Smith, you can see Isaac Coro playing his gap, plays far enough. LaMelo Ball is right there. He has to overstep. Kevin Huerter has to help off the drive and kick. And Liam McNeely is wide open for a 3. That's a wide open shot, thus leading to a potential wide open 3. This is a game from the Toronto Raptors game, straight into it. Again, 77 screen down, coming downhill for LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is going to drive straight through. He's going to try to get through. As you can see here, Moussa Diabate setting the screen. Miles Bridges is setting the screen. And both of them are basically attacking the rim. But this is what happens once again. That gravity coming down the hill off the screen. Nobody checks LaMelo Ball as his defender is getting screened. So he is just coming straight downhill, going to the middle of the court. One of the most dangerous parts of the court is the middle of the court because, again, as you can see here, it forces a lot of help, which forces a lot of drive and kick opportunities for a lot of people, such as Sion right here, or even right here, Con Knipple. So again, the drive and kick. The drive right here gets into the middle of the floor. This is just open space. RJ Barrett doesn't see it. Scotty Barnes has to stay on Con Knipple. If he does help out, Con Knipple is wide open for a 3. You do not want a 40% shooter shooting. LaMelo Ball drives and kicks to Sion. And again, middle of the floor is open. Sion wide open for 3. He knocks it down. Right here, zoom action. Very beautifully, and again, very weird, but a center zoom nonetheless. Instead of the big, pretty much the big is going to hold it out right here. The wing is going to come off from the right wing, is going to set a screen here for LaMelo Ball. This is going to be Sion setting the screen to get Walter off him. Here comes the screen. Here comes the handoff. LaMelo waits for a second. He's going to try to get downhill. He's going to get downhill once again. And it's not a lot of help at this point because Scotty Barnes, the weak side defender, is not going to help in this case because Con Knipple is in his corner. Now, the person that could help is RJ Barrett, but this will also mean a one pass away situation to where Miles Bridges gets a wide open 3. So now you have Moussa Diabate coming straight down the lane. Nothing can be done at this point for Brandon Ingram to stop this play from happening. As he has to guard out against the wing that's on this side, which is Sion James, who also hit a 3 just recently. So now this creates a 2-on-1 opportunity for LaMelo Ball, who jails his defender right behind him. He has a open lane coming down the rim. Moussa Diabate is there. He's going to throw up the floater. He's going to miss it, but an open opportunity nonetheless. The play continues. Con Knipple off a broken play, shoots a 3. That's why you do not want to leave Con Knipple wide open for a 3. Hits the 3. Scotty Barnes left just for a little bit, and that happened right there. Again, another example of plays being going and playing out for Charlotte Hornets. 77 screen immediately coming off the top. This is a quick one, but everybody fades the screen. The double screen is being set. Everybody fades the screen. That means Moussa Diabate basically says, screw it, I'm going straight in. He's slipping the screen immediately. He's going straight in from that point. Con Knipple slipping the screen immediately, going out to the pop area, going out to the open side of the wing. LaMelo Ball has a free lane, or has a lane to drive on, and you can see the respect for this drive has they learned a lesson from before. Hey, we got to help out. Why not leave the 30% shooter Miles Bridges open? Now, again, this is a wide open 30% shooter in a sense, and understandably so. If Miles Bridges misses the shot, you'll live with it, but again, you don't want to live with it too much. So LaMelo Ball had a lane. Instead, now it forces situations because Moussa, as a person that was basically slipping into the screen, he is pushing down gravity. He is coming down to the lane, and all the traffic that's going around, and Con Knipple is simply slipping and fading to that 3-point line. His defender gets lost in the mix. That takes little to no time for Con Knipple to shoot the 3. He shoots it up. He misses, but wide open attempt again for the Charlotte Hornets team. Now here, zoom action once again. This time with Sion creating it, and this time coming out the corner to set the screen for LaMelo Ball, who's fighting over screen against Sherd. Here comes the handoff. LaMelo Ball gets the handoff immediately. No bad call right here. No bad screen. He gets it. So now his defender is trailing. Emmanuel quickly is trailing on this play. You can see here the help is coming around. Brandon Ingram is looking at it. He's thinking if he should help or not. Sion is going to get to his wing or / corner area. And now you have somewhat of a mismatch. LaMelo's going to try to attack it. Stops on the dime. Steps back for the 3. Pulls it. Misses it. But again, an open 3. Has the mismatch that he wanted and had a open shot. Still good shot opportunities, not to say the less. He gets it to go. PJ Hall, zoom, once again, counters. And again, bunch of counters being run by the Hornets and their zoom action coming across here. You can see PJ Hall gets it. Sion getting the screen. Con Knipple coming off of it. This is against the Indiana Pacers, which was just recently. Instead of Con Knipple coming up for the screen, he is going to now cut. Now, this is going to result in a turnover, and this is more on PJ Hall making the proper read. And TJ McConnell did a hell of a job coming down, has the weak side defender, and getting the steal or tipping the pass. And I think it's 23 that tips the pass, or TJ McConnell tipping the pass. This is TJ McConnell. And PJ Hall obviously looking for Colin Sexton in the corner of this play for the pass. And I felt like he should have made that pass particularly. But you can see here that all that movement, all that gravity of Con Knipple cutting in creates that wide open opportunity for Colin Sexton to be wide open in a sense. And it just goes to show, like, hey man, this team has a lot of counters. They can throw a lot of stuff at you at any point in time, especially with their zoom action and especially with their double drag action. So it just goes to show this Hornets team has been dialed in and getting a lot of shot opportunities due to these actions and due to this situation. Now, what makes them very different, to say the least, is the simple fact of the matter that this Hornets team has, again, shown from the example of using the 77 screen, the zoom actions, and everything in between. As far as they're going, they have so many actions to give you or get you off guard and score as much points as possible. As of right now, the proof is in the data. 3rd in the NBA in handoff possessions, 3rd in frequency, 7th in points per possession, shooting impact from the past 10 games. They are 3rd in left corner threes, 10th in right corner threes, 4th in overall corner threes, 5th and 3rd and 5th in 3-point percentage attempted beyond 24 feet, and 6th in field goal percentage beyond 24 feet in terms of 3-pointers. Zoom just doesn't create movement. It manufactures Charlotte's ability to hit shots at an elite rate. And again, coming from graphics from NBA.com and Shot Charts Overlay, they has just been lighting it up against teams, no matter what the opponent is. Again, they go against the Thunder, one of the best defensive teams in the league. They went against a couple other great defensive teams as well. Indiana, even though the Indiana offense hasn't been the greatest since Tyrese Halliburton is out with injury and pretty much out for the most of the season, if not all the season, their defense is still good. And the fact that this Hornets team was still able to put up 100 points, or at least 100 points, against this Indiana Pacers team is really good, to say the least. Toronto Raptors, they scored almost close to 100 points in that game against one of the top 5 defensive teams in the league, and pretty much almost won the game. They lost by a buzzer beater by Emmanuel quickly. So again, this team has progression and has the opportunity to score. They have the offense. They have a lot of talent, to say the least. And again, with 4 plays and 19 points and a bunch of 3-point shooting, they just do a lot. Now, in terms of player shooting in the last 10 games, Con Knipple, another person that we have to put in the spotlight as well. Con Knipple, 1.60 points per PNR roll possession. That is him being a person inside that Horns offense / zoom offense where he becomes a screener, or he becomes a zoom handoff recipient, in which he gets all the handoffs and score off those handoffs, and where he could shoot threes, come off his shoot threes, or he is the person that is wide open due to the creation of space, due to the zoom offense in itself. And the fact of the matter is, he is one of not the best pick and roll bigs, yes, the best even though he is a guard by true definition, the best pick and roll big in the association as of right now with that 1.60, beating out only two other bigs that is damn near close to his numbers in terms of points per possession. In terms of roll man, I think they are off by only 0.8 or 0.5 points, which just goes to show you that he has just been bending this Hornets offense and pretty much getting open looks from his teammates and getting wide open threes. He also leads the league in pull-up threes with 50% from the three-point line every time he does a pull-up three. So that just goes to show you the efficiency from Conkanipple just in itself. Charlotte is also bending positional definitions. Guards are screening, wings are rolling, defenses are constantly misaligned. This is not the only offense that they run, obviously with the double drag screen and zoom offense that they run. And they also run, you know, guard to guard PNR. They have the guard roll and be pretty much a high roller in which they can make passes or they can create off the free throw line. But in a sense, that zoom offense, that Horns offense, that 77 drag screen that they keep on doing constantly has been helping them none the least, and is the reason why for this 15-game surge. Now, again, points per game went up and shot up. It was a completely changed method throughout this team. As you can see here from the graphic again, I'm just going to show it one more time. Again, the points per game has went up. They're second in the NBA in terms of the span, and they've been doing a great job just getting points up and scoring against teams no matter who they play. They've been just getting nothing but buckets in the games that they played, and their field goal percentage is nothing to show the least. Again, their pace and spacing has improved as well, and again, they have a lot of defensive counters failing due to constant movement and where it's coming from. And again, they have counters that's there, or they have counters against over aggressive defense, which was shown in the time when the zoom doesn't work. They go to a secondary option where they reject it and go to an empty side screen. They can also reject it and where they basically rescreen the person that ended up giving the ball to the center and having him rescreen for him. And then also to have a zoom exit in which the zoom action continues, but instead of the person that's in the corner rolling out, they will cut straight in instead of rolling out, basically creating a mismatch. And it turns of a point, Princeton point kind of offensive in a way, in a sense. And then again is the empty side zoom, in which they come in is a zoom and then they switch into a empty side PNR and create some actions off of that. It is not the base action that hurts teams, it is the counter, in which they cannot pre-switch or tag fast enough. Why this works league-wise and why Charlotte is maximizing it as of right now. Now, the NBA overloads ball screen. They tend to overload ball screen, so of course you want your guys to guard against the paint and take away the paint as much as possible, and which leads to kickouts for threes, and then hopefully your players rushes out or has a good enough timing to rush out to the three-point line and stop those three-point lines. Now, zoom in a sense and horns in a sense, and especially double drag screens, they punish people that helps off the nail, and especially coming off as a tag roller to stop the PNR, but also it gives them a very late rotation, if anything. Charlotte's spacing and discipline is so elite right now, and the timing has been very amazing with LaMelo Ball and the rest of the squad going into the offense so far. And again, is great credit to Charles Lee and how they've been playing throughout the past couple of games. Right now, with the top three of offensive efficiency, I do not see this team slowing down, regardless if they are going on a West Coast trip, and then regardless if they are 12th in the Eastern Conference. This team has potential to potentially move up in the play-in, or if not, be a threat next year in the Eastern Conference. And you heard it from me personally. I feel as though this offense has been really great, and their defense, even though it is not the topic of this video, are 17th in the league in terms of defensive rating right now. So again, it goes to show you that Charles Lee has a formula and has been working. Just need patience on this young team and the injuries that's going along with this team to continue on and doing what they need to do. Now, as I said, with defense, they can't really solve it. They're switching. If you switch because of slips and short rolls, they get punished. If drop coverage fails because pull-ups and re-handoffs, it punishes it. If you overhelp, it fails because Zoom destroys corner rotations. Charlotte is not asking players to win one-on-one battles. They are asking defenses to make multiple corrective decisions on the same possession, and eventually they don't. And in this case, as again, rhythm shots are created by predictable spacing, consistent relocation, and trust in the system. So again, this offense has been amazing to say the least, and it's wonder why Charles Lee is getting the most out of his Hornets team as of right now. The Hornets aren't reinventing offense. They're executing it at the level where most teams don't commit to it. And as of right now, Zoom is the engine that one of the NBA's most quietly efficient attacks is getting it done on all aspects of the floor. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we tune in and we say goodbye here from the channel. And once again, we do appreciate you guys coming in and looking at all the stuff Breakdown Report has for you guys as well. As again, guys, we do these videos almost every week. Make sure you tune in, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. My name is Tavon. You have a blessed day.